I'm Bodhi. This is Tenchi Farm in a beautiful, dedicated Aikido dojo on the edge of the wilderness.
In Meander.
In Meander.
I'm Martin, and I've been doing Aikido for most of my life, 45 years now, and for 15 years or so we've had this dojo now. In Deloraine, which is not very known, is a bit of a mecca for Aikido. Our teacher, Tony Smibert, sensei, he lives in Deloraine as well, and he's one of very few non-Japanese 8-dan people in the world. So he's one of the great sort of teachers in the world, and he's very well known in the Aikido circle. So because of Tony Sensei and his connection in the Aikido world, we get a lot of very high-graded teachers come to Tasmania, come to visit. And when they come, they usually train and teach in this dojo here. So we feel very fortunate about having done that. And Aikido is like a way of life. It's more than in the beginning. It's a self-defense you do on the mat, taking the energy of an opponent and putting it into a round circular movement, stepping out of the way. But as you keep doing it, Aikido and the way you live your life gets more and more connected. And what do I love about Aikido? It's quite a spectrum. And it depends where you are on the spectrum. What I love about Aikido is many different things. One of them is that it's a dynamic meditation. So when you do Aikido, you don't think, you just move, and you're part of the movement, and you're part of that energy of your partner, which plays the role of the attacker. So there is a oneness in there. And that sort of really comes back to the contribution that the founder made, O-sensei, the picture of O-sensei, which is contributing to the planet with the essence of universal peace and love and harmony. So way ahead of planetary things like internet and stuff, or even COVID, he had this vision, or he felt that universal peace and love and harmony is something that we got to work towards. And Aikido is one of those things that helps us with the positive energy that we make a contribution to that. So even something as extreme, facing the anger of someone attacking you unprovoked, and transforming that energy into something positive. I'm defending myself, of course, but I'm not hating that person. And that's like one of the things I love about Aikido. That's the spirit of, again, peace and love and harmony created out of the turmoil of the Second World War. And being of German descent, I could relate to that myself. So when I first studied Aikido many years ago, I just felt I laughed about the fact that I learned, unlike the generations before, I learned about fighting not to hurt anyone, but to grow spiritually. And that's one of the many things that I love about Aikido. You know.
What about you, Bodhi?
I think it's, as Martin said, it's a dynamic, active meditation, so I really like that. The side effect is very physical, so you learn how to use your body in a strong way, and it's easier than going to the gym for me. Although I'm not training at the moment because I've got back issues, but that's one of the things I love about it. It's based on non-conflict, so I think it teaches a lot in your day-to-day life of just how to deal with strong energies, whether it be physical or emotional. So I think it's really valuable like that too. And it's beautiful movement. It's lovely, round, flowing movement. After training, you always feel fantastic. You've got all the good hormones buzzing around, and it's a lovely thing to do in a group because there's always people that you practice with. Yeah, it's a special thing. Yeah.
Like in a corporate setting, the translation of Aikido in a corporate setting would be there, like, oh, I see you're angry. I'm sure you have a reason, but I'm not interested. So see the energy and step out of the way, or turn it into something positive in a circle very early. So it has got a wide range of applications. So when I do gardening or work outside, that's also not separate, how I use the body and stuff working, or even like in Tony, our teacher Tony Smibert sensei, in his watercolor, you can really see the harmony, the connection with the Aikido. One is not separate from the other. And with that peace and love and harmony, that totally goes into the friendship that's being created by the people who train and practice together. You become like a family, even though you might not have much else to do with each other than training together, but you feel really close because sides of the other people that you otherwise would not know, because Aikido is an open book, an open mirror, so you feel the energy that's coming and you see how the person moves. So we know a lot about each other that way. And that's also quite a fascinating point of Aikido, I find.
Yeah, and even though it's flowing, smooth movement, it's still a very valid martial art. So you actually learn how to defend yourself, and that's a really valuable thing as well. Yeah.
And like you said, the actual physical activity as well gets the hormones and the endorphins and whatnot going.
Yeah, and the life force, as we all know, like acupuncture or or Tai Chi, same thing. The whole Eastern art talks about Qi, the Chinese, Ki, the Japanese, Prana in India, the life force moving through the body. So in Aikido, the aim is to activate that life force and bring it in harmony with the other one, with the outside force. But activating the life force, that is a strong part of it, constant part of it. And the key extension, we call it extending.
You've got this wonderful dojo and some space for people to visit. How often do people come? Where do they come from?
We've got a big event this weekend. We've got a teacher coming from Japan. He's teaching in Sydney this week, and then some people in our association, Aikikai Australia, wanted to give him an experience outside of just coming and teaching. So they're bringing him down to teach here, but also do a bit of bushwalking and enjoy nature around here. So this weekend's quite big, so we've got people coming from Alice Springs, Sydney, Adelaide, Melbourne. They'll stay in various places around, come to train. The focus is on kids teaching, because he's the main teacher in the Hombu Dojo in Tokyo that looks after the kids' curriculum and teaching. So he'll be teaching how to teach kids, which will be really interesting.
There's a lot of kids.
Yeah, and we have maybe 4 times a year, we have state events here where people come. And we have in September we have a cherry blossom training. We tied in with the cherry blossoms on the banks of the river, and we call that Hanami Geiko. But several times a year we have national teachers coming down. But as Martin said, when a dignitary or high-grade teacher comes to Australia, they usually end up here, and hopefully we get a class. They teach a class. So we've met a lot of very interesting people come through. Yeah. And then we've had people use it for yoga. We've had a few weddings. So we're available to do other things as well. We've got a dojo concert at the end of August coming up, and a music workshop. It's an interesting life out here.
So do locals come and train, and do they train with Tony here?
Well, once a month we have a training here, and the other trainings are every Wednesday and Saturday in Deloraine.
On Emu Bay Road. Just near the bottom-ish.
So we do, and we have had kids classes and beginners classes here, but we're quite remote and there's not a lot of people in the area. So we tend to do the more special events through the year, 2-day trainings, 5-day trainings, whatever.
Yeah, but just now a couple of people have asked me again about kids training, so I'm just thinking like having another 6-week kids block of kids training and so, because it's a bit of effort for their parents to drive kids to places, of course, and stuff. So maybe do another 4 people used to come from Mole Creek and from Meander, so that's within a 20-minute radius, 30-minute radius. So I might do that again soon, and stuff. It was last time, it was the COVID that sort of stopped it for a while.
Do you find that kids who start just can continue going on?
Not many do. It's hard to, but some do it as kids and then come back later. And one of our young, he's in his 30s now, he did exactly that. Aikido is, it's not easy. It is easy to progress in it, but you have to train. So you have to train so many days, and then you can do a grading, and that suits some kids, but not all kids. But I think in teenage years, it's hard for them to do training and study as well. Yeah, but there's certainly some nationally. There's kids that'll train all the way through to their adulthood, and then they do their black belt really early because they've been training.
We believe, or I strongly believe, that even if people just do it for a short time, they still get heaps out of it. Or sometimes it might lead to somewhere else. Someone might go and study Zen or something and stuff. But generally speaking, people start and do a course and then they leave. So very few people stay. But that's how it is, even though Aikido by itself is a lifelong thing for a lot of people. But as I said, the people who just do it for 6 months or for a couple of years, they, no doubt, they get heaps out of it as well. And they always love it, but they just move on anyway. And that's just...
well, transfer the skills that they've learnt to other parts of their lives.
That's right, that's exactly right. But I sometimes feel a little bit... I really feel a bit sad that, because I think everyone, all the kids ought to learn to roll at the very least. So when you fall off a bicycle even 20 years later, you naturally go into that rolling sort of position, so it'd be much safer. It's much safer to learn that, and it doesn't take long for a kid to learn that. When I first got here 35 years ago, I didn't see that at the AFL, at the football and stuff, but now they're all Aikido rolls. When they fall, they do Aikido rolls, and that change has occurred in those, because it just makes sense to fall like a wheel, just to roll out of it, as opposed to boom, fall down and break something.
Yeah, absolutely. Like we talked about, and taking that skill and using it in another part of their life. You've been here for 35 years and built the dojo 15 years ago, is that right?
About that, yeah.
Was it your love of Aikido that drove you to build such a beautiful building? I guess, was the idea to have a space, was Tony in the area that he was? Why did you choose to live here?
It's a beautiful place. Yeah. It's quite remote, but it's still an hour away from the airport. We've got Deloraine, which is 20 minutes away, so there were schools. There was a school in the area, which was fantastic for our kids. Then they went to Deloraine High, and then they went to LC, and there was a bus that took them from Meander. It was, even though it was difficult travelling for them, it still made it possible to live out here. But it also made it interesting making an income if you didn't want to drive to Launceston or Deloraine. Deloraine, there really wasn't much around, so we've just developed over the years, we've got a Mountain Grows compost rooms. We provide
commercially.
We sell them commercially.
Yep.
And we've had various part-time jobs. We've got the Deloraine market that we run. So we've got...
Do you do worms or do you do...
We run the market.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, so that's a little business. So we've got little bits and pieces that all keep us
alive, keep us engaged. The thing is, when you ask, why did you come here and stuff, for me it was actually quite a similar experience to starting Aikido, which was, call it what you want, but for me it was like a total, it was a spiritual experience. It was an awakening, because like I was really, when I was a kid, I didn't know which way to go, career-wise, work-wise, study-wise. And it's only when I came into an Aikido dojo that the light switched on. Woof! There's something that totally makes sense to me. And I knew from the beginning, without having the words, that this is what I'm going to do. Even I wouldn't have had the courage to say I'm going to be a black belt, because there wasn't even any black. It was before people had black belts, because there was not that advanced. They weren't that advanced yet. But I knew it from the beginning. That was my life's path. And the same, and it only happened 2 or 3 times in my life. And the same thing happened when I came to this place. I just knew it. I knew I'd found a place. I knew I'm in the right place. It was a very holistic experience. It wasn't a rational thing. It was a total holistic experience that sort of fitted into this place. And the truth is, I'd really traveled for many years all over the place, but when I came to this place, all the travel's finished, because all I wanted to do ever since is staying here. And that has grown, and then the two things came together. This is the place, this is where I want to have an Aikido dojo. And that was quite similarly not a rational decision. It's like, you have to survive, you've got to make money somehow and stuff. But there was a naivety there, both with living here as well as with building an Aikido, that has nothing to do with any sort of commercial thoughts at all. But there was a trust there that somehow things have a tendency to work out. And that's exactly what happens. So when other events and stuff, birthdays or wedding, as Bodhi said, or parties taking place here, they still have got that spirit, that harmony of Aikido and nature that is part of this place. And Tenchi, I don't know whether Bodhi said it, Tenchi means heaven and earth. And it's the way the Aikido explanation looks at the world, which is the human is a bridge between earth and heaven. And energy is flowing both directions, up and down, and so that's the Asian way of looking at it, and that fits to this place. That really fits to this place. And many people who come here, even though they do something completely different, like yoga or breathwork, meditation or massage or whatever they do, or music, whatever they do, but they can, by and large, tune into it. It seems to me, tune into that part of the place, that we are not separate from nature or from...
I've been here not too long, and it's peaceful, it's quiet, it's an interesting way of putting it, between heaven and earth.
And one of the things, so Aikido comes from Japan, as we know, and it's like in Japan, it comes out of the Zen and Shinto culture that sort of live quite peacefully together in Japan and have been for a long time. And interestingly enough, like that, the Shinto way of looking, one of the Shinto ways of looking at things is that everything is alive. There's nothing that is not alive. Everything is consciousness. And for me it's totally fascinating. That's very close to the Aboriginal way of looking at the world. There's nothing that is dead. Everything is alive, everything's got spirit. There's spirit all around us. So in a way, I feel that Aikido just really fits into this place and into this world.
Memorable moments in your journey.
Yeah.
What stood out?
Oh, too many. It's been a rich time here. It was a rich time having kids here, growing family. It was a rich time developing this, doing project by project. It's fun. I love doing that. Different people, different events that have been here that have opened my eye or introduced me to something new. I don't know whether anything... Well, Martin chopping his finger off was pretty...
Oh, how did that happen?
With skill and precision and a mower.
A mower. Was it really?
Yeah. Mower.
But no, I can't remember the question. What was the question?
Memorable moments.
Memorable.
What jumps out?
That's too hard for me.
What's that?
That's, my brain doesn't work like that.
What was that?
Memorable
moment.
What jumps out?
What jumps
our
out?
beautiful wedding here.
Well, exactly. We had a wonderful wedding here. There was a big event and stuff. And
this is your wedding?
Our wedding.
Yeah.
Other weddings and stuff.
This was before the dojo.
Yeah.
But we had people come and stay for... Some people came a week early and some people left a week later, and it was a big festival and it was so much fun.
Yeah, a lot of stuff. Like what jumps to mind is like there was an old lady, Japanese, she must be close to 80.
Oh, yeah.
She must be in her 80, Minikishi sensei. And her name is, and she's the highest graded Aikido person in the world. Aikido woman in the world, 8 stone. I went into the forest with her, and she just loved it. She just loved it so much, and it was just she loved it to a degree that she said, "I don't mind being late for the class. I want to stay here a bit longer," which is such an un-Japanese thing to do. But I really loved having her there.
She cried when she had to leave the forest.
Yeah. And she was also like. She was such a bit of an entertainer, so not just teaching Aikido, but having that entertaining element with it. And I really loved her and stuff. Her madness was a little bit obvious, and it just enriched the place. That was one of those many sort of moments and stuff. As I said, a memorable moment coming here, and waking up. This is it. This is the place. This is the place. And I realized that it is very rare. It is very rare for humans to actually connect with that land in a way that I've connected with this land. So I feel really very privileged. I feel very privileged in how it grows, and it's not separate from Aikido, but also realizing that, like say, the roots of a tree is in the ground. So that's the foundation of it, and then there's the body and there is the crown, like the crown of the trees, and just the similarity between us as humans and the trees that are here doing exactly the same thing and enriching the place through their presence and stuff. So that's not a moment, but it's an ongoing sort of like presence. So living here is just increasing. It just keeps on deepening. So we're both of us just super happy to live here. I feel very blessed. We feel very blessed, and it's nice to share it. And it's just a little bit similar to the market. So as Bodhi said, we run the market. When people come here, and I see through their body language, and I see through the way they interact with each other, I see how happy they are. That gives me so much satisfaction, and it gives me so much happiness. So I feel very privileged to be able to invite people to come here and do stuff like this weekend coming up. And so, yeah. I feel very spirited.
Plans for the future?
Plans for the future? Nothing specific. Just keep doing what we're doing.
Keep going.
Yeah.
Well, the simple truth is there is no future. It all happens in the moment. And that's how it is. When someone attacks you, there's no other time. That is the time. If it's a life and death situation, woof, that's when it happens. And that's what we really, the meditative aspect of it. So whatever happens here, we invite the people to be present to the moment. So future, same as past. It's like we talk about it, but it's not relevant. What is relevant is being present in the moment with an open heart. That's the spirit of being present in the moment with an open heart.
And we tend to get inquiries from people that may want to do their thing here. So it's, it just evolves really.
Yeah. So we are open to people coming here and hiring the place.
But we don't.
As long as it fits in.
Yeah, as long as it fits in with the.
As long as it fits in and stuff.
With the place and
If someone wants to start doing Aikido, how would you suggest they start? What should they do?
They need to watch a class first to see that it's something that they feel like they could do and they know what they're actually stepping on the mat to experience. And then they can become an interim member. So they sign just a bit of paperwork, it's nominal, so it doesn't cost that much to do it. And then you get 3 months to actually see whether or not you want to join in. And then after that you can sign up. So you pay yearly membership and then your class fees. And at the moment in Tassie you can train Launceston, Deloraine, Devonport and here. And Hobart there's a dojo as well. And Larina as well. Nice. And so there's an opportunity to train 4 or 5 days a week around. A lot of people do that. And
And there's a total openness. So a beginner coming in, Aikido attracts friendly people by and large and stuff. So when a beginner comes in, everyone is really happy to look after them. So if there's not a beginner course, then the beginner is like on one corner of the dojo usually, and people take it in turns to practice with that person and stuff.
And they're
So
slowly integrated into
slowly integrated, and so it's quite effortless. If people are interested, they're very welcome to come and have a look. We're always very open and very welcoming to new people.
Do
Any
they?
age.
Oh, any age? So there's no minimum?
No, generally.
Oh, well, I've got a kids course. I'm thinking about a kids course.
Yeah.
It's between 12 and 14, they could go to regular adults class and stuff.
But it's generally, for even the kids course, it's generally over 7 years old. They haven't got the maturity before then to. You've got to sit in
Around
line
that.
and
Maybe,
respond and keep people safe, and it's not just a play group sort of thing.
Yeah. And
Although we try to have fun.
And on the other side of the spectrum, like people have been quite old now, the people who are doing it, the age has moved upwards and stuff. But since Aikido is based on natural movement, so my movement doesn't have to compare with the movement of a 30-year-old. So I move in a natural way for a 69-year-old. So I move so I'm looking for what is natural for a 68-year-old or 69-year-old body. So I feel really excited about exploring a bit more of that, inviting older people in, and still doing Aikido, but adjusted to that age. So we're more like a meditative way and stuff.
Favourite part of the Meander Valley?
Favourite part of the Meander, we'll probably hear.
Oh, it's beautiful all around. You
Yeah,
look,
it's a beautiful
Deloraine
place.
is such a wonderful place, really. You come to Deloraine, you see the mountains in the background, that river. And we've talked about it lately, like when I first got here, when our son was born, Dom, and I was like wandering around the river, alongside the river with the pram and stuff, and we lived there for a while. I was there by myself all the time. There was not many people there. Now when I go and look at the river, there's so many people enjoying the river atmosphere. And really, I think the council has done a wonderful thing.
It's fabulous.
A fabulous thing in Deloraine. So I really love the Deloraine area and stuff. And the mountains in the background, the Western Tiers, you can really feel. I can feel it here. Right here, Dojo is on the slopes of the Western Tiers, right halfway up, 450 meters and stuff. And the presence of those mountains, empty country up there, it has got, I think, its impact onto the psyche of the people who live here. So we do love it. We really love it here.
It's beautiful.
Tasmania and Tasmania as a whole. Just a magic place. And also, they're so friendly. Look, Tasmanians. You straight away, when you come, say, from the mainland and you're in a plane, when you've got a Tasmanian person next to it, it's really easy to start a conversation. And that is so special. Like in other places, you look at people and they think, oh no, that guy is going to ask me for money or something, so you close off. But in Tasmania, you come close to the person and there's an openness there, regardless of their political or location and stuff in the spectrum. It doesn't matter. Everyone is, that's how it seems to me, and that's why I'm so grateful. Tasmanians are generally happy to live here. That's what I believe. Tasmanians appreciate living here. And that love that they have for the island, I think that's a vibration that's in the air. And I feel that when we do the market, we mentioned the market, I feel it on the market list. Community, Tasmanian community, just being happy to be here.